Kansas. But you gotta change that tolerance. And that's why I was going through niggas like crazy. Can't fuck with it. Nope, don't like it. Don't like this. Oh, this outweigh this. Got to go. New nigga me, please.
What's good, YouTube? How's everyone doing? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another reaction video. If you're new here for the first time, my name is TMR, and since you clicked on this video, you might as well subscribe to this YouTube channel and make sure you click that notification bell. Leave your comments down below and enjoy this reaction video. What's good, YouTube? What's good, TMR gang? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another reaction video. And welcome back to the Break Room Chronicles. Where breaks are normally 15 minutes. But child, over here, we take 1 damn hour. Shouts out to the 2 Live crew. Child, I see you, by far the best damn chat on YouTube, honey. You better ask someone about this 2 Live crew. Oh, and shouts out to the Bush gang. Hey, Bush watchers. What it do, Bush gang? Shouts out to the Replay gang. Hey, Replay gang. Thank you so much for stopping by. Make sure you let us know in the bottom of this here video. Go ahead. Let us know you're part of the Replay gang. Hashtag Replay gang in this thing. So myself and the 2 Live crew definitely know it's real. Hey, you guys. Happy Sunday to you all. Thank y'all so much for showing up to the Break Room Chronicles, honey, where we going to have a little break room conversation. Oh, my goodness, you guys. I hope y'all are having a really good day. It's a very nice day here, so I hope it's nice where you all are at. Again, thank y'all so much for coming on in. And we're going to have, y'all see the title of this live, and we're just going to have a break room conversation. Try to break up some of the monotony of what we normally talk about, although we do like to discuss stuff that's going on the internet. But y'all know sometimes the stuff can become just a little bit too much. You know what I'm saying? When you are watching somebody else live their life and you give your thoughts and opinions on it. A lot of times people feel like if, especially if it's the person that you're, the topic of the conversation, if you're not necessarily agreeing with them, then, you can be, an enemy for your opinion or this, that, and the other. And, at the end of the day, you guys, we all are entitled to our opinions. Will our opinions always be at the point where you can agree, or, a lot of times people disagree, that's why it's an opinion. You don't have to necessarily agree. It's just somebody's thought. And just because one person is thinking it doesn't mean you're going to think it as well too. Okay. I just wanted to say that, y'all. Just wanted to put that out there. But y'all know, I don't know really too much is going on, because you guys know, I haven't really been on YouTube like that. I'll peek in every now and then, but I've just been living my life, trying to enjoy myself. And I hope you guys have been doing the same as well, too. Again, I want to thank you all for coming on in, and we're going to go ahead and get into the conversation. Now, y'all know I like to react to Kendra G and her channel, her Instagram. Well, Kendra G is also a host for a radio station in Chicago called WGCI. And she has a segment where people will send her questions, and, ask her opinion about them. So there's one that she posted on her Instagram that I saw the other day. And I was like, you know what? I think that would be an interesting topic to bring to the break room. So I definitely can get you guys' thoughts and opinions. I probably will do a call in So you guys can give that as well too if you want to do it in person. I'm glad you said that, TMR. Each person is entitled to their own opinion. Yes, you're right, being Maryland gal. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion. And sometimes it's just not going to coincide with the other person's beliefs or whatever. I mean, it is what it is. Because, my thought is my opinion is not going to stop your way of living. It's just my thought of what you put out, or or if you have a conversation with me, you guys, I have many girlfriends I've had conversations with about personal things that are going on in their life. And once they tell me what's going on, obviously you're telling me because you want my opinion, right? Because if you didn't want my opinion, you wouldn't mention it to me. So when you tell me the story and you're like, girl, what you think, or what you think I should do, then I'm gonna tell you what I think, right? You might not like how I feel, but if I'm not being real, then I'm being, obviously fake. So I'm gonna be real, especially if you're a friend of mine. I'm definitely gonna be real with you. And sometimes the reality of a situation does hurt, because a lot of times when you're standing in a situation, you're living in it, and you don't see what the outside sees, right? Because a lot of times people try to normalize what's going on in their lives so they can feel comfortable with it. But obviously someone who's on the outside looking in will be like, yeah, sis, now I don't think that, yes, sis, that don't look right. Okay, that doesn't look right. I don't agree with it. But again, it's your life, it's your business, but I just don't agree with it. So the internet definitely has opened the doors for people to, you know, like we're talking about YouTube, because that's where we are right now. We're on the platform of YouTube, and YouTube has really opened the door for people to live their lives on the internet. And a lot of people have done that. And a lot of things that go on in people's lives, they decide to document it and put it out for the world to see. And then the reality is, a lot of times people's thoughts and opinions or comments that come back are not favorable to them, and then people feel some type of way about that, because a lot of times, like I said, when there's certain things going on, people try to normalize that, especially if it's you dealing with it. You try to normalize it to make it beneficial for you, but it probably isn't a conducive lifestyle or conducive situation for you. But again, you're living in it, so you try to normalize it. Okay. I just don't like when someone states their opinion, they are now considered a bully. Yeah, that's true, Jasmine. It's unfortunate that people are portrayed. I don't know. I think what I think is when people become too vocal with their opinion, that's when they're targeted as maybe being a bully. That's my opinion, right, DBO? I think when people become too vocal, that can be considered a bully. You know how when they say people are too opinionated, then that could possibly come off being that way. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get over to the topic of the conversation today, and I want to get you guys' thoughts. So let me pull up my IG because I have it saved in my IG.
Hey, Kendra G, my baby daddy pays my rent to make sure that our daughter is provided for. We don't have an official child support situation set up, but he is very reliable with the rent payment, so there is no issue. Well, now I'm dating someone else, and he said that my new guy can't come over to the house or stay over because he pays my rent. I don't agree with this. He obviously dates other women, and I should be able to do the same. He said he doesn't care about all that. He is very adamant that as long as he's paying my rent for my place, no man can come over or stay the night. End of discussion. Kendra G, I don't agree. What do you think?
So, what do you guys think? Now, I'm going to tell you my opinion. Obviously, I don't know who this woman is, right? Hey, Miss TLD. I know that's right. You're not cooking none of it today. I know that's right. Typically, when I go grocery shopping, big grocery shopping, I don't cook. My opinion is first and foremost, sis, is he your baby daddy or your daddy? Okay. Now, my opinion is, well, mistake number one is you're allowing this man to control your house, and he's not even in your house. Now, him paying child support is not a favor for you. He's not doing you a favor. He's handling his obligation. Now, it seems like this woman is liking his control because, like she said, they don't have a child support agreement on paper. Okay. They don't have a child support agreement on paper. So obviously, this is a mutual agreement amongst them. Now, my thing is, if you don't want this man controlling who can come in and out your home, then obviously you need to take him to court, get you an agreement on paper, and pay your own rent. And whatever child support he's giving, if the court renders that it needs to be the same amount that you guys were paying off paper, then obviously you can continue to pay your rent with that child support money. She needs to stop capping and stop acting like they are not still smashing. Well, definitely with, hey Kendall, definitely with her saying that he's obviously dating other people. And then more than likely, she probably still is allowing him to tiptoe over there in the middle of the night when he feels like it. Hence the reason why he's feeling so passionate about her not having another man over there. Now, she didn't say in this, well, because he doesn't want, another man up around, our child. She didn't say that. She basically was saying, I guess he's paying the rent, so he can always have a virtual key to open up the door. Although she probably, I don't know if she's giving him a key or not, but him paying the rent means that can unlock the door anytime he get ready to come over there. Obviously, if another man comes over there and starts getting in her head and getting in her bed, then he won't be able to control this woman. Like he's doing now with paying the rent. Hello, everyone. I will let the good judge order my money. He would pay the rent one way or another. Exactly. Women are known to have baby daddies footing the bills and have deadbeats living off of them. Yep, that's true too. But at the end of the day, it's her house. He can't control what you would hope that she would make a conscious decision not to have a man in her house that's not helping her. You would hope that. But again, him being just the baby daddy, the child, the father of the child, he can't control her. He can't control her movements, her thoughts. If anything, I mean, hell, he could be a deadbeat. He could, he could just be paying the rent, but he probably still, in my opinion, he doesn't seem like he's a mature man, to make that type of statement. Because obviously, if we're not in a relationship, I want you to use good judgment or what type of man that you bring up around my child, obviously. But I can't tell you, even, that you can't have a man over here ever because I'm paying the rent. And it's like, sis, how long is he gonna pay the rent till the child turn 18? So you can never have a man come over if you want to have company because he paying your rent. Now, granted, she can always go over to the man's house that she meets, and she can go, mingle over there with the if she meets a guy. But I don't know. I just felt like, sis, if you don't want, obviously it's bothering you. So if you don't want that type of control, if you don't want him controlling you in that matter, then you need to take him to court. Or take the free rent and then pack your bag. It says, right, Ani. He should not be paying the rent. Pay your own rent and get child support. He has no right to dictate who's in her home as long as they are of no harm to the kids. That's true. Let's see here. Some men pay support without sex. That's true. That's true. We don't know what their situation is, obviously, because she didn't detail that. Okay. That free doesn't come with nothing. That definitely smashed it. It's an excuse for him to come over. Yeah, that's what I think. I take it as a way for him to be able to always come in and out the house when he get ready to. Just like the example, if you guys were in the chat the other day when we reacted to the guy that came on Kendra G's show where he was at the Mexican restaurant and he was looking for a woman and he had said he had just had sex with his ex-girlfriend 3 weeks ago. And remember I said to you guys, I'm like, whoa, so she's okay for you to have sex with her when you feel like it, but you can't be in a relationship with her. Like you you were having sex with the ex-girlfriend 3 weeks ago, but 3 weeks later you on Kendra G's show trying to find I'm just gonna say a woman, a soulmate. I don't know what you're actually looking for. And I just found that, and so it was someone in the chat that said they didn't really see anything wrong with that, because he basically made the excuse of the reason why he was still sleeping with the ex-girlfriend is because she's familiar territory, you know. And I'm like, okay, well, if she's familiar territory, then why are you on Kendra G's show, which is obviously unfamiliar territory? Like, it didn't make sense. So in my mind, he kind of put me in the mind of what this person is saying, her baby daddy. It kind of gave me that vibe for a moment. He can't control her, but can stop paying that rent. She would probably not get amount of rent unless he makes a lot of money. Well, obviously he must make some type of money if he's able to pay her rent, and wherever he's laying his head, the rent there as well too. That's like her intruding on his dates and saying his woman is taking money from her kids. They both need boundaries. That's true. That's true. Yeah, and that's what happens a lot of times when these relationships break up. You definitely do have, when you decide that you are no longer going to be a couple and there's a child or children involved, boundaries definitely need to be set up. They definitely do need to be set up. I would never allow a man to try my life like that. She should have already been thinking about the rent situation long term. Yeah, that's true too. Some women need these guidelines, because I never understand how these women have all these dudes in their house and around the kids. And maybe you guys, hey, Dr. Amira, maybe you guys, the reason why he did this is because he knows what type of woman she is. Maybe he feels like she would make the wrong decision of bringing some type of man. Like, you know, maybe he knows her mannerism, her personality. You know, maybe he feel like she's not making good decisions. Maybe he feel that way because he feel like he ain't ish. So maybe he feels like, well, I know I ain't ish, and you let me up in there, so I could just imagine the next man you pick. It could be that too. I mean, that could be a possibility. Again, it's kind of hard because obviously the girl's not on Kendra's show telling the whole story. It's just a small snippet. Hey, sincerely, Tina. Are you doing call-in? Yeah, are you? Yes, I am going to do the call-ins. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to play, hey, our family. I'm going to play Kendra one more time. So for the people that are just coming in, so they can hear it for themselves.
Hey, Kendra G, my baby daddy pays my rent to make sure that our daughter is provided for. We don't have an official child support situation set up, but he is very reliable with the rent payment, so there is no issue. Well, now I'm dating someone else, and he said that my new guy can't come over to the house or stay over because he pays my rent. I don't agree with this. He obviously dates other women, and I should be able to do the same. He said he doesn't care about all that. He is very adamant that as long as he's paying my rent for my place, no man can come over or stay the night. End of discussion. Kendra G, I don't agree. What do you think?
All right. So one of the persons in the chat of Kendra G's Instagram said he has a point. Unless she's ready to be in a serious relationship with the new guy, he shouldn't have access to the child at their home that he's paying for. Once it's serious, he can come over all he likes and grab that rent while he's at it. That's true as well too. That's very true. If that girl don't creep like TLC, he don't gotta know what you do. Girl lie. That's true as well too. So I don't know, you guys. Let's go ahead and take some call-ins. Like I told you, I personally will be paying my own rent. You're not gonna be able to hold that over my head and order my steps. He is very controlling. Right, nearly. You would, hey, my love, he would not be able to order my steps and control me like that. I just feel like that's a form of control. And I'm not going to let you, a lot of times when sometimes when you meet guys or whatever, I know Everybody don't have to come to the house. Just because you meet a guy, your house does not need to be the meeting spot, you know. But maybe after about, I'll say 5 or 6, 7, 8 dates or whatever, and you want to cook dinner for him one night, and you say, okay, well, come over to my house. I mean, obviously you can go over to his house too, but maybe, you know, whatever, take turns. And maybe this is your turn now to host him at your house. Right? And now she can't do it because she don't know if baby daddy's sitting in the parking lot looking, or if he gonna come through one night. And then now here you got this guy, the new guy, in in an unfamiliar situation, right? He's sitting over here, sitting on the couch, you know, as you're cooking dinner in the kitchen, or if she already cooked dinner, maybe you guys are just sitting having a drink, talking and stuff before you go have dinner, and then here come the baby daddy about to huff and puff down. Now you this innocent guy sitting in a very, you know, bad situation, right? Because he don't know what's going to happen. That's why a lot of times these guys need to be careful going over to these girls' house, because you don't know what, especially if they have children, you don't know what the baby daddy situation is. Women will clearly say, nah, I don't have no baby daddy drama. And it definitely could be drama. Because obviously when you're meeting a guy, you're not going to say, oh, my baby daddy crazy. Yeah, he got a screw loose. He's not very, you know. Yeah, you're not going to say that. You're not going to scare the man off. You probably are just going to say, oh, you know, we have a mutual understanding. Or, yeah, no, I don't have any baby daddy drama. And he was probably just fighting them the night before, you know. So men and women both need to be careful. Not just the men, women too. Y'all going over these men's house. Y'all don't know if he got crazy baby mamas, you know. So everybody need to be careful going over people's houses, because a lot of times, you know, adults lie and they don't tell the truth. All right, so let me put the link in the chat. Hey, cutie squad. Welcome to the live, sis. All right, let me put the link in the chat. All right, so there we go, you guys. I just put it in there. If you guys want to tap in and call in, like I said, we're not going to make this a very long conversation, but if you guys want to give your opinion, you definitely can hit the link and call in. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. I'm going to try to pin it, but it goes so fast. Hold on. Let me see if I can catch it. All right, so I just put it in the chat again. I can't pin it.
Hey, Kendra G, my baby daddy paid.
Oh, I'm sorry, you guys. Okay. All right. Hey, Monica.
Hey, Tasha, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I had seen this maybe about like a month ago or whenever it was posted, because I think I had somebody I knew reposted it. And in all honesty, I get so tired of these women acting like they don't know what's up. You know what I'm saying? Because in this situation, you know full fucking well, excuse my language, you know full well that this man ain't just paying your full rent just cause. Okay, yeah, his kid lives there, but guess what? You also have a responsibility to that child. So if anything, he would be paying half of the rent. And not once did she ever say, oh, well, you know, because he don't have to pay my rent. This is what he chose to do. You ain't never throw out there, well, you know what? He don't have to pay my rent. Because the question is, why aren't you paying your own rent? Because what it sounds like is that you're irresponsible. He may know this, and that aspect he's concerned about the child, because you're not responsible when it comes to money to be able to pay your own rent and bills. Okay, because he's not obligated to pay your rent. And to be quite honest, as a woman, if somebody was paying my full rent, whether it was like my son's father, I, as a woman, wouldn't feel comfortable bringing another man all up and through there, because at the end of the day, guys do things with the intent of being able to keep their meat on your neck. You know what I'm saying? It's obviously and definitely a control thing. And the fact that so many of these women act so naive and simple, like these guys just do stuff because they're nice. No, them dudes went out in the 90s, okay? That type of mindset does not work anymore, okay? Nothing is for free. Nothing. And I just think this girl is just like really simple. And it's like, if you want to flex, your biggest flex is to be like, you know something, sir? This money you paying for rent, how about you put yourself on paper and let that be support? or you know what, maybe you don't want to put on paper. This will just be support. But I'm gonna sit here and I'm going to pay my own rent and my own bills, and I'm gonna have up in here whoever I want to have up in here. I wish I would. I wish I would. I don't know. This lady sounds simple. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm
she
sorry,
does
that's just
sound
my
very
opinion.
simple, Monica. My thing is, so what happens if your car break down? Do you not ask your baby daddy to help you out with the expenses of your car because he's already paying your full rent? And so it's like there's other things that need to be taken care of in a home besides just rent. When it comes to like, what about childcare? So he pays your rent, but you pay the childcare. Like, there's other expenses. What happens when you have to buy the child? I don't know how old the child is, but let's just say the child is under 5. you know, um, make diapers, formula, whatever. Again, I don't know how old the
You know
child is.
something,
What
I
about all
personally
those
think,
expenses?
yeah, I personally think, and I even said so in the chat, that they are still sleeping together. Okay, because a man is not going to be that invested in you and what you're doing in your home and paying your rent if he was not still smashing you. That's just my opinion.
Right. And obviously that would have to be. And she probably is feeling liberated because they're not, quote unquote, living under the same roof. And she knows that he's, dealing with other women in the streets because she said that. So she feels like, well, if you doing it, I can do it too. But sis, and you can, but you're allowing this man to order your steps by him controlling paying your rent. So he feels like, well, I'm paying the rent, so I can say who can and who cannot come over there. And I disagree with that. Just because you paying the rent don't mean you have the rights to say that. But in his mind, he feels like he does because she is allowing him to have that control.
And that's the point I'm making. It's like, so I'm not giving you the go ahead for that. I'm not giving you the green light to do that. Me personally, I just would not feel comfortable letting someone just carry the weight like that. You know what I'm saying? Especially if, first of all, like when it comes to these kids, everybody has a part to do. You know what I'm saying? And she sounds like she's one of these women out here that thinks, oh, well, I had the baby, so everything else is left up to you. You're supposed to take care of us forever. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, I don't have to have a job. You got me pregnant. This is your baby, not our baby, but now this is your kid. And it's like, I don't agree with that.
Then
I
what
don't agree
happens
with that.
when this man, one of these women he's out here in the streets dealing with, he decides to wife this woman up, right? So now she's your wife. How would the wife feel that you paying her rent? Like, you're not necessarily paying child support, you're paying her whole rent, right? Would the stipulation still be that if he was married? Now he's married to a woman, right? Would that still be the
Uh-huh.
stipulations? Oh, you can't have no man over there because I pay your rent. And I would want to know, well, how would the wife feel that you paying her rent and you have the stipulation?
No, and also just to play devil's advocate, what happens? What would you do if something actually happened to him where he could no longer pay your rent and possibly not pay his own expenses? Then what? This is why I wouldn't leave room for anybody to have that over my head. I just wouldn't. And it's like, what kind of example are you setting for your child? You know what I'm saying? With being a leader, you can't do anything unless somebody's fronting the bill for you.
Yeah, I personally don't think it's a long-term arrangement. I can't see him doing that till the child turns 18. I just don't see that happening. Like, that's for right now, you know? And then, like I said, what if you do meet this really, really nice guy and you decide to get serious? The baby daddy still paying the rent? Like, how do you end that agreement with him? Like, you need to end it now because if you're planning on dating, the goal is to find somebody that you can settle down with. And you still gonna have your baby daddy paying the rent while you in this serious relationship with this guy? Yeah, that don't even make sense. Like, how
Yeah,
would
that
the man, the
too.
new man,
That
feel?
too.
He
And
feel
and
less than a man.
also, right, and also with a situation like that, how do you know a man is even going to want to take you seriously? Because you're showing that he ain't got to do much for you because your baby father fronting the bill. So it's like, what I
Exactly.
need to wife you for? What I need to sit here and help you with bills for? You got that nigga over there. Let him do it.
Yeah, me
He been
personally,
doing it.
you need to take this man to court, but more than likely, this man probably has other children and has other child support obligations and doesn't want another or child support order per se. I'm just assuming because again, I don't know, but that's just what he probably don't want her to put him on paper. So he'll say, "Well, I'm gonna pay your rent. Like, we got a mutual agreement. I'm gonna just pay your rent, and you keep the laws off my back. You don't put me on paper." But like I said, what happens next year and she finds this guy, they get engaged, they get real serious, and you still got baby daddy over here paying your rent. Like, sis, that you need to put an end to that now, because long term, that wouldn't be conducive for your long-term lifestyle with someone else.
Exactly. And honestly, she probably can't even take him to court for child support because the way rents are nowadays, dude is probably a whole drug dealer. You know what I'm saying? And that's how he's able to be able to afford paying two rents for two separate households. Okay. Rents are
Mm-hmm.
out of control. Okay. Depending on where you live, rents are ridiculous. So I would be curious to know, how are you even able to afford to pay her rent as well as your own rent, which goes to show you can afford to sit here and do stuff like that, and you are probably also giving her other money. It's a control. The bottom line is that dude is trying to control you. Well, now he's trying to control you. He's controlling you. You're allowing it, and I guess maybe you've decided now that you're tired of it. But see, a lot of times women like that, they do things like that, and then they realize, oh,
Hey,
I'm not going to
Malika.
find
Hey,
somebody
girl.
else like you. I'm not
Right.
going to find somebody else that's going to do the things that you were doing. So let me just keep this person in
But
the
that's
back
not
pocket.
true.
And I'll
Women
just
shouldn't feel that way, that they can't find somebody else. Just like you found him, you can find somebody else.
No, you can find somebody else to provide like that. That's the point I'm making.
Oh,
Like they
right,
feel,
right.
oh, I'm not going to be able to find somebody else that can provide for me like this. So you know something, I'm not going to quite let him go completely, but you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna just tiptoe around and do my little thing. But I mean, it's just, it's
So
I don't like that
hold on,
situation.
Monica. I
It's
have
bad.
somebody else on the background. It's Jasmine. Hi, Jasmine. How are you?
Hey TMR, hey Monica, how y'all doing?
We doing fine. What's your thought today?
So my question is about the guy that she's supposed to be seeing, because in my head, when you meet somebody, if you're dating them, you're gonna ask them, where do you work? How do you afford your lifestyle? Whatever. So if she doesn't, because it sounds to me that she doesn't work because she's not paying her own rent, because that's what it seems like. So it seems like you're a dusty too, because if you're willing to go to somebody's house that you're not paying for, then that means that you're a bum, basically. Just
Okay.
simple as that.
You're talking
And
about the
the
baby
guys,
daddy, or you talking about the new
I
guy?
don't know, the new guy, he's a
Okay.
bum. The new guy, because me, just on the outside looking in, I would consider him a bum, because you're coming on the situation that she possibly has vented to the new guy about, like, oh, you can't really come over because the situation with my baby father.
So wait a minute,
And
Jasmine. Hold on for one moment. Let me address Lisa Baker. So Lisa Baker says, oh my God, now the man is a whole drug dealer. Let the woman live and let the man pay the rent. So again, Lisa, we are just giving assumptions. We don't know what he does for a living, obviously. Monica was just saying, I mean, what type of job do you have where you can afford to pay for? We're just going to assume two households, meaning the household he lives in and this current household. It's not necessarily let the woman live, because obviously she's having conflictions with the situation. Hence, she wouldn't have wrote into Kendra G's show, posing it as being a problem for her now. She wants to figure out a way how she can get out of this contractual agreement that they have. Okay. So it's not necessarily letting her live, because we can't help but to let her live. But it's just our opinion based off her. Again, this is what I said when I said earlier when the live started. I don't know if you was in here, Jasmine. When people put stuff like this out here in the atmosphere and you give your opinion, you're just giving that. It's not that you're being mean, you're being hateful. Again, we're on the outside looking in. Obviously, this girl has figured out a way to somewhat normalize her situation, but now she's starting to feel like, I don't want to do this anymore. And it's just an opinion that we're giving. It's just our opinions, not to demoralize her or anything like that. It's just an opinion. All right,
exactly.
Jasmine, just hold on. I'm gonna bring Kendall on. Hey, Kendall.
Oh, hey
Kendall.
Tasha, how you doing?
Hey, baby, I'm doing fine. What you think?
I just think a lot of times she's probably young, because a lot of times when young women get with men, they do too much pillow talking. When you lay down with somebody, well, if y'all are probably laying down in each other's house, if you look around the home, you see what type of home they have. whether they like nice things, things like that, the type of car they drive. So, if you lay down and make a baby with that person, what type of responsibility you're going to have to uphold. At least that's how I am. You know what I mean? So, for me, I'm not going to have a baby with a man who doesn't have a high earning potential. I'm not going to do it, because realistically, it takes money to take care of a child. When she asked for that money, if she wasn't going to put him on child support, instead of telling him that he was paying her rent, she should have just asked for a certain number. That way he wouldn't feel like, I'm paying your rent. She could have just said it's diapers, childcare, whatever. But because he knows he's paying that rent, he feels entitled.
So
in my opinion.
let me ask Kendall, and Kendall, you made some very valid points. Let me ask you and Jasmine both this question. So you meet this guy, you guys been dating, I'm just gonna say a year, 2 years, whatever. Okay. And again, I'm just putting this out there. I'm not saying this is the situation. I'm just giving an example. The guy moves in with you. Okay. I know realistically we would want to get a house together. Okay. But the guy moves in with you. Okay. Do you say to him, this is how much my rent is? My rent is $1,000. Or do you just give him an exact amount that you feel like you need in order to maintain the household?
I would
That's the
give him the
question for
amount that
Kendall.
I feel like I need. I don't want people in my business like that. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes, why it's great when you like each other, but if it ever goes sour, they're gonna dangle that carrot over your head. You know what I mean? So I don't want, and that's just me from my life experience. I just
Mhm.
feel like, even if you're in a relationship with somebody, everything, if he's moving in with you, why does he need to know how much your mortgage or your rent is? You're not getting one together. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like,
Mhm.
just give him a dollar amount, and either he accepts it or he denies it. You can't. I am at the point where I feel like I can bring an offer to the table, accept it or refuse it. If you don't want to do it, I'm not going to beg you to. You can walk away. Somebody is going to comply with that.
That is true. So, Jasmine, what's your thoughts? Do
Uh,
you tell the man how much your rent is, or do you just
Absolutely
give
not.
him? You said
No,
what?
absolutely not. I'm not telling you how much my rent is. I'm just going to tell you a dollar amount, because I may or may not use that for rent. I may use that for toiletries or something like that. I'm not going to tell you all my business, so you can feel like you have one up. Because if you're staying with me and you know that the car doesn't run on air, uh, water, lights, all that stuff, you should be willing to give just off the rip because if you're here. But if we're sitting down and we're doing the budget, and I'm just going to give you, okay, this is what we need to have, what I need to have every 2 weeks, or what I need to have every month. And if you're fine with it, okay, cool. If you're not fine with it, there's the door. I'm not going to argue with you. That's just it, because I can't argue with the rent man. I can't argue with the light bill
You're
company.
right.
I still have to pay these bills, so I'm not going to argue with you, and I'm not going to negotiate anything about saying, like, because even then, like, I have 3 children of my own, so the only people I argue with is my kids, possibly, but I'm not going to argue with you about bills. Absolutely not.
Right. So Kendall and Jasmine, you guys both agree that you're just going to give a set amount that you need every month, correct?
I've done it before. Like, I'm not even gonna lie to you, because like, you have to, when you come into the home, or you guys get a home together, if whatever the case may be, if they look around, they see the furniture is nice, the house is clean, full refrigerator, you're cooking, blah blah blah, and you pull that number out. If that's the amount it takes for you to live this comfortable type of lifestyle, they're gonna agree to it. You
They're
know what I
going to
mean?
agree to it.
Mm-hmm.
You're coming home to cook meals, you have someone clean. That's why I'm not gonna do 50-50. I'm
But
not gonna
that
pay half the
separates the
bills.
boys from the men, though. That separates the
Exactly.
boys from the men, because if you tell a boy what this costs, or when you look around the house and you're not trying to contribute anything, then you have to go. But if you're telling a grown man and he is established and he knows what he wants, okay, this is what I need each month. Here you go. Hit like an envelope with the cash in it. No problems, no questions asked. But these
Right.
boys that's out here, oh no, they're not gonna give up anything, or they'll have
And
an
you just
excuse.
have to give them the boot, because as women, we train these men to be the
Yes.
way they are in part. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? They have gotten to the point to where they feel comfortable to offer us, you know what I mean? They feel comfortable to offer us crumbs, and they know that women will accept it. And we have to stop doing that. Stop shortchanging ourselves. I'm not playing like I do. I will not accept less than what I expect. I will let you walk away from the table. I'm not begging. I've
But
done that in my
Kendall,
20s.
you had to get to that point, right?
Yes.
Because you
Yeah.
had
Yeah.
other experiences
I've been
that
there
led
where
you to
I
where you
brought
are
the
today,
table.
right?
Right.
Right. I've been there where I brought the table and was still allowing somebody to use me and giving them and not allowing myself to understand my full potential and just saying, well, you know what, you have to get let him do his part. No, I was doing everything.
So
So just
Jasmine,
Hmm.
let me
cleaning.
ask you,
Mm-hmm.
looking back on that now, be honest, how did that make you feel? Like, did it make you feel, does it make you feel some type of way that you allowed yourself to, I'm just going to use this term, to be
Mm-hmm.
played like that? Does it
Oh,
make you feel some type of way, or do you just be like, you know what, you live and you learn, but I know moving forward, I'll never do that
it
again? Tell me how that
okay.
makes you feel now.
It made me angry at myself for a long time because it was just like, why would you do something stupid like that? If I could like go back and choke myself, I probably would. But then I had to realize in order for me to get to the next level or get to where I needed to be for my kids or just my sanity, I had to say, okay, that's a lesson learned. But you have to do improvement on yourself because what happens is men, and I didn't realize this term was so true until I got in the dating world and started dating people. They can sniff out somebody that is uh like low
Weak.
on themselves, weak, doesn't understand the world as they will understand it. So they can sniff that out. And they'll
Mm-hmm.
see you from a mile away. So when you don't do that self work and you don't allow yourself to build yourself up, they will see you and they will hunt you down and they'll use you until they can't use you anymore.
So
And
let me
mhm,
interject one quick moment. Let me interject.
mhm.
So Shakay says, but why not 50-50? These rent out here is very expensive. I don't believe putting all the bills in one person when it's two in the house, in the whole house. So why not 50-50? Okay. You know what,
That's true too.
Shakay, 50-50 is not wrong. Me personally, it just really depends on the situation. Like what Kendall said, you moving into my home where I've already established this home, right? I don't feel like I need to give you that information. I'm just going to tell you the dollar amount that I need, and then we can keep on living like we live it, right? But I would think if we move into a home together, that we go and get a mortgage together, or a lease together, then maybe then 50-50, because obviously if he's there for the lease signing or then he obviously would know how much everything is, right? So then yes, at that point you would do 50-50. Kendall, what do you think?
Can
What
you
do you
hear
think,
me?
Kendall?
Okay. I didn't hear. I got cut off, but my whole thing, and just saying you don't go 50-50 doesn't necessarily mean that you don't have to do anything. But I don't believe in, if you are with a man, he expects you to keep yourself up. You're going to take care of the kids. I saw somebody say that they didn't want their child to take care of or their son to take care of somebody who had a child already. They may come into the relationship with a child, though. You know what I mean? I mean, to each his own. I'm not trying to convince anybody of anything, but a good woman is not going to have bills through the roof for that man to pay. You see what I'm saying? So if
Mm-hmm.
he's providing, you're not going to have the top of the line, or
Hold on for a minute,
it's
Kendall. Trina, I don't know what you got going on in the background, but it's kind of hard to hear.
Okay, I thought I turned it off. I think it's my
No, you're
grandson.
fine.
Okay.
Go ahead, Kendall, and then we're going to let Trina interject.
if I'm with a man and he's paying the bills, I'm not going to have it to where it's going to be a strain on him. You know what I'm saying? You can live a nice lifestyle without bankrupting the whole place, is what I'm saying. But I believe if I'm going to keep up house, cook, have your laundry done and things like that and still pay 50-50, that don't sound like 50-50 to me.
So you're saying 50-50, it don't sound like 50-50 because. So wait a minute. So then I think what you're saying now is, because I'm servicing you in the bedroom, I'm doing laundry, and I ain't charging you for that, sir. But that definitely is, that's a service. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So Shakay wants to know though, why not 50-50? So Trina, I'm gonna let you answer that.
I don't have a problem with 50-50. But it matters on
because my twins want to
what
be
all other bills you have.
Okay, Jasmine. Thank you, baby.
Okay.
Go ahead, sis.
I don't have a problem with 50-50 if 50-50 is enough, because I have a mortgage and other bills.
But is he responsible for your personal bills? He should be just responsible for the household. So I think that's
exactly
what is at.
But what I'm saying is, when I was getting my divorce, my lawyer said it would be better if we came to agreement on everything before we got into court. It would cost us less money in the end. We sat down. I have 2 daughters, one with him. So the mortgage is a third of it goes towards my daughter.
So wait a minute, hold on, sis. There's somebody has music in the background. Whoever that is, can you turn it down?
I think it might be. I think I'm gonna try and go in the other room. I think it's my grandson's tablet, actually. And
okay, Trina, I'm gonna mute it because I don't want it to demonetize me, sis.
Oh no, I'm
gonna mute you and then just let me know you turned it down. All right, go ahead, Dr. Amira.
Well, I'm sorry. Listen, I'm not paying half nothing, okay? First of all, I did that in my first marriage, child. I'm not doing that no more. Nope. Because if you can only do half, then you're gonna get half ass. Excuse my French. Because
so wait a minute, Dr. Amira. Let me and this is a question for everyone on the panel. Let's just put a dollar amount out there. Let's say the mortgage is $1,300.
Mm-hmm.
The light bill, gas bill, cable, internet, food.
Okay.
We're going to split that 50-50. Why would that be a problem?
I'm not doing that. I don't do that now, sis.
If that's other people's arrangement, that's fine. I'm not doing
right.
But that's what I'm trying to get y'all to tell me why. That's what Shakay wants to know why.
Because you're paying half. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, Dr. Amel.
No, that's okay. Because we both feeling this. Anyway, what I was saying was that the reason why it should not be, well, I don't know. Everybody have their own situation, right? But let me just, it's hard for me to tell you. I'm going to tell you why I'm not doing it. I can't tell you why nobody else.
Right, just tell me why you, right.
Okay, so the reason why I'm not doing it, because I've been there, done that. Because if I am a stay-at-home mom, which I am, I'm a stay-at-home mom, that means I cook, excuse me, sir. I stay at home, I cook, I clean, I take care of the children, okay? And I'm a business owner, okay? Keep that in mind. So my full-time job is to be a mom. You understand what I'm saying? So my husband does not want me to work. Now, he wants me to work my businesses, but he don't want me to work outside of that. So if my husband does not want me to work outside, what does that tell you? That means that he takes care of the bills, the rent, the cellular phone bills, the whatever it is that I need. Even if I want to go shopping, he takes care of that. Okay? Because that's where we decided before we got married, before we even got together like that. We were going to be traditionalists. You know what I mean? We're going to be traditional. I stay at home, maintain the home. This home is in my environment. This is what I do here, right? My husband don't have to clean up. Sometimes he will clean up just because he feels like it, but I don't require him. He don't really have to, unless he just get a snake up his tail and he decide he want to clean up, then I try to stop him, but he'd be like, let me do it. Let me help you. You know what I mean? But for the most part, he don't have to do nothing. He gets breakfast, dinner, lunch. My son gets breakfast, dinner, and lunch. served to him.
So
Both.
wait a minute. So let me let Trina interject because I
Go
had
ahead.
her
I'm
on mute.
sorry.
Go ahead, Trina. What's your thoughts?
Well, 50-50, if that's equitable, that's fine. But if it's not, we have to take other things into consideration to get to a point where we can be okay, both of us. Because when I was getting a divorce, my lawyer told me it would be cheaper if we came to agreement on everything before we went to court, because the longer you fight in court, the more money it costs you. So when he heard that, he was in agreement.
So Love
So,
Sugar says half is for roommates.
and that may be true. But see, in my case, I made more money than he did.
Okay.
So he didn't want to pay half, which I didn't have a problem with. But you're going to pay something. And with the him paying rent, or not having people around your child, or having a man in your house, we made that agreement too, because it's a funny story. When we were dating, we broke up. I started dating somebody else. I have an older child, and she only met either one of them a couple times. So when she saw him again, she called him the other guy's name.
Mm.
And he was like, "Oh, his nickname is Snoop. I'm Snoop. I'm not him." So okay, because she didn't know. She hadn't seen him but a couple times. That's mommy's friend. That's all she knew. But so he didn't want me to have anybody around our daughter. And I don't have a problem with that, but you're not gonna have women around my daughter either. So we made the
That
agreement.
to me, yeah, I get that, but I just really feel like if y'all are not going to be together, then what's wrong with y'all moving on with other people? You know
There's
what I
nothing
mean?
wrong with that, but that we decided that if you were decided you wanted to be serious with somebody, we would speak about it first, because a
Well,
lot of things play into you having women around my child, which he was doing, and I didn't know it at first.
Well,
And
let me say this to you.
mhm.
Live, laugh, and love says, I hope these 50-50 people are considering salary. That's a good point. Now, Trina, I believe you said that.
Mhm.
You said at the time you made more than him. So that's a good point. When you're talking about 50-50, it's 50-50 really fair when we do know there are circumstances where the woman can make more than the man or the man can make more than the woman. So are we talking 50-50 or are we talking fair?
Right.
So that has to be taken into consideration. So when you're getting together, and I think a lot of times that doesn't come into play in relationships. People are not really thinking about the fairness of it, because yeah, we both coexisting in this house and we all need to live, but we definitely need to make sure it's fair, because me personally, your personal bills are your personal, like
Right.
you don't have to help me, like credit cards, I'm spending money and stuff like that. I don't necessarily, you ain't got to split me on something that I'm wearing these clothes and these shoes and all that. But when we come to the household bills, to where we run this house, then yeah, maybe that could be where you handle the rent and the utilities, or you do the mortgage and I handle the utilities and the food or whatever. But live, laugh, and love is definitely right. We do have to consider salaries, because
Right.
it may not be even, it may not be fair. Okay. So that definitely is true. So get permission to enter into a relationship. Um, Love Sick, I don't know what are you talking to somebody else? I don't know exactly what you're saying. Why do y'all think a man or a woman need to take care of another person? That's crazy. Y'all are grown. You supposed to be taking care of yourself. Okay, okay, okay. I hear you, Shakay. I hear you. Like I said, it's an interesting topic. We're gonna go back to the original conversation where this young lady says that her baby daddy pays her rent, and he's basically saying that she can't have company because he's paying the rent. However, he's out dealing with women, and she don't think it's right, and she just wants to know what she should do. Well, here's the problem though. Yes, he's out dealing with other women, but since he's paying his own rent, so he's calling the shots. If you want to call the shots in your home, then you need to pay your own rent, period. you know
Right.
and then therefore, if obviously there's a child, so there's a child support obligation, or a obligation for support of the child. So then you take him to court. If you can't come to a mutual agreement, you don't allow that man to scare you with the whole court situation, because a lot of times that takes a lot of the mess out of this. Like now, she's dealing with this situation. She can't have a male friend over if she wants to because he's paying the rent. But see, if you handle it in the court, with the courts, then your personal life has nothing to do with his child support agreement. And that's just my opinion. She's letting it be too personal with him by them having this agreement off the record. Okay. I'm just looking at everybody's comments. Mom Life says, my husband and I definitely are not 50-50. He pays rent, food, gas, electric, and cable. I pay my personal bills, cell phone stuff for the kids. And that's a fair agreement. That is definitely a fair agreement. I feel like if the man can afford to do that, then that's what he needs to do. But my thing is this, if a man is taking on a family, he definitely knows what it takes to run a household. So that's what men should do. They should lead the household. So his agreement should be to where he takes care of the household, and you as the woman, you handle all your little personal necessities and handle the children. I feel like that's a fair arrangement. Our family says everyone should do what works for you. I'm not knocking nobody. However, it's my husband's job to be a provider. In this case, she needs to pay her own way if they're not together. Right. If she doesn't want him to have that control over her, then she definitely needs to pay her own rent. And then for him, unfortunately, I'm not even gonna say unfortunately, because it's not unfortunate to go to child support. But then he just has to go to child support and let the court, from whatever state they live in, decide on what would be legally correct based off her income and his income to take care of that child. So we have Anissa on the back line. So we're going to bring Anissa up. Hey, Anissa, how are you?
Hey, TMR. I'm just trying to figure out what type of situation are you in to make an agreement with somebody like that? I have 2 kids, well, 2 grown kids, but I would have never made an agreement in my house where I pay bills at to agree with you that I won't have male company. So I'm putting myself on the back burner for a relationship that I'm not in with you.
Right.
I don't understand. Did she say anything? Because I kind of got on here like 10 minutes ago, so I don't know the whole story. But
okay,
yeah, that just like what situation is she in? Because it sounds like a situation of she has something is missing, because that's what child support is for. You're legally responsible for this child.
They agreed not to have a agreement through the courts.
Okay, so then we agree on an amount. Then we don't agree on our situations.
Right. Well, the amount is, he's saying, I'm gonna just pay your rent. I'm gonna pay your rent, and that's my obligation to support the child since the child lives in the home. And she didn't say that in the message, but that's just what I'm taking out of it. And now she's feeling like she's obviously, they're not living in the same household, but they have this child in common. So she's wanting to date. And if I guess she's wanting to bring, her date to her house or whatever. The baby daddy is saying, no, you can't have nobody at that house because I'm paying the rent there. So basically he's saying, I can say who can come and go because I'm paying the rent.
No. She there's something within her that she needs to fix. Like, she needs to, because there is no way that I'm going to allow you to have an obligation over my life. Because see, that's an obligation over her life, not just the child's life. Now, if you want to come pick the baby up and y'all go have y'all me time together, but I'm going to do me. So there's something in her that needs to be fixed so that she can, because easily, as they agreed upon paying rent, because rent is not cheap nowadays. As they agreed upon paying rent, they could have agreed upon an amount and visitation and those type of things. So they need to go back to the drawing board, and she need to fix that, because until she fixes that, apparently she's going to feel this way about the rent because he is paying it. Granted, he's paying it, but you're not going to have an obligation over my life and what I do and who I see because we're no longer together, and you out here living it up and taking shots and on the gram and everything else. No. So she
Right, and
needs
that's
to
my
fix
thing. I'm
her.
like, I'm thinking long term. So, like, is this the agreement until the child turns 18? I'm like, wow, sis, you're really not gonna have any type of life. And I know a lot of people's like, well, they're letting all these weird guys come in, but I'm just gonna say this: every guy's not weird. There are still men out here with very good intentions on knowing what it takes to date a woman that has a child that's not his. Right? There's
And if
still
a
men out there like that.
and if a
So,
Right.
man wants you, he's gonna show you that he wants you, and he's gonna be respectful when you say you have a child. He's gonna be respectful to that child. The man I'm with right now, my children are 18 and soon to be 19 and 21, and he would not come around my kids disrespectfully. He wanted to be introduced to my kids in a way, okay, let's go out to eat, let's go do something together, let's, because I want my girls now to see how someone should treat you. And as their mother, I am their example. So you're showing your daughter that this man has that much priority over your life. I just she needs to she got to fix what's in her that's making her, and it may be because she's in a financial situation. I do understand that as well. If she's a
right.
single parent and she's not working or whatever the case may be, but any man, real man, will not hold and dangle stuff over your head to make you do what he wants you to do, because in a way that's saying that you still want me, but you want to do what you want to do, and that's
Right,
not how the game is
exactly.
played.
Exactly. Now, Live, Laugh, and Love says, TMR, you're speaking hypothetical. I have to speak that because I don't know the circumstances. So I would have to speak in a hypothetical stance because I don't know all the details. It was a very limited amount of information that was given. So I can't speak like I know exactly who this person is and I know the exact situation. So I am speaking hypothetical. Yeah, I would have to. How would I not be able to? That's the only way I could do it.
Well, okay. Now, on the terms of him paying her rent, I mean, let's keep it real. She probably she probably don't have enough money to pay her rent, obviously, right? And he know, and number one, like you said, I agree. He probably don't want child support. He might have multiple children, or he might just not want to have that obligation on him. And she probably will get less. You understand? See, we don't know. Like you said, we hypothetical over here, right? We hypothetical
Yeah.
team, right?
Right.
But at the end of the day, we don't know what happened to prior to that, because she might have lost apartments, or it might have been all kind of stuff, or maybe she had to live with him for a time period or whatever. But I mean, anytime if I was that man, I wouldn't be paying no rent. I mean, I know it's about control, but I wouldn't be paying no rent with another man putting his feet up at. I don't think so.
Well, wait a
You know what
minute.
I mean?
So hold on, Dr. Meyer. Because I'm Live, Laugh, and Love. The people are taking everything in this discussion personal because this hits personal. That's why. Because they're commentating based off of past or present personal situations. That's why people are taking, because again, in some ways people can relate to this story, and maybe some ways they can't, or some ways they can, but it's just a conversation. That's it. And it's a good conversation because, like, I asked Jasmine said she was in a position where she had a guy living with her, and he basically wasn't doing anything, and eventually she got that man out her house, and now that she's looking back on that, she felt very stupid that she allowed this man to use her like that. Okay, so when she heard this conversation, it did get personal for her because she related to it. So yeah, so people will take it personal because this is common. We all live in houses, so you know what I'm saying. We all can relate. Everybody is not born into world married. A lot of people date and then get married, so people can, a lot of people date several people before they get married, so people can relate to it on either way, on either spectrum. But
Can I
Dr.
say one
Mary,
last thing,
yeah,
Tasha?
go ahead, Kendall.
As far as the lady who is going through the issue with the child's father, I think that this ought to be a wake up call for her. to make sure she has her stuff in order, because we're in a pandemic. If that man gets a wild hair up his butt and decides that he doesn't want to pay her rent, she could be in a bad situation. Because, I mean, regardless of whether she's single or not, that can change. But the one constant thing is his child needs to be provided for, and you can't hold that over her head because she has somebody. You see what I'm saying? So that right there will let me know I can't play this game with you. We're gonna have to go before the judge and get something concrete. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Set up,
Exactly,
because I
Kendall.
can't
You
have you
made a
playing
very
with
good
my
point.
kids like that. You
And
know, that's your child.
Jenny Gibson is agreeing with you. She said, what's going to happen if he suddenly stops paying her rent? Will she be able to financially step up ASAP and handle her business? I would not feel comfortable with that arrangement. Yeah. But yeah, that was my thought. Like I said, what happens long term?
Correct.
He
So she's
decides he
living
don't
on
want to
the
pay it
edge
anymore,
over there,
sis. Then what you
basically.
gonna do?
Yeah, I mean, and that's still his child. Like, what grown man? I know they're saying, well, maybe she's not good with handling money, but he should have figured that out before he got made a child with her. But to me, in my mind, I'm thinking, what kind of man would withhold benefits from his child because her mother has moved on when you've moved on as well?
Yeah, that's true, Kendall. That's true. That's very true. Obviously, a very controlling guy.
Yeah.
Obviously, he sounds very controlling to me. That wouldn't be the arrangement because who's to say you're going to be able to keep up with that arrangement? Let's say the child is 5. Again, this is hypothetically live, laugh, and love because I don't know how old the child is. I'm hypothetically saying if the child is 5 years old. So you're saying that he's going to be able to do this for the next 13 years? Probably not. I don't, because what happens when he gets, married? Let's say he gets married and then the wife is like, whoa, 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 whoa. You paying her whole rent? Does it, let's just say, again, hypothetically, let's say her rent is $1,300 a month. So you get ready, again, it takes $1,300 to raise one child. Again, I don't know. It depends on what state you live in, what city. It might, okay? It might, because inflation is definitely real right now. So 2 years from now, it might take $1,300 a month to raise a child. I don't know. I'm just one thing I like about this chat, you guys, and I like about the break room is that we definitely can have these type of conversations. We all can agree to disagree. Again, we all come from different walks of life. We've all had different experiences in our life, what leads us to think differently about certain situations, right? So it's good to have this dialogue because, like Jasmine, the girl that was on the panel earlier, she was able to, basically open up and say, now that I look back on it, I do regret making that decision with that guy because, but well, let me say this. However, her making that decision and her going through that more than likely has led her now to never do that again because she knew how that felt or knows how that feels. And Kendall, the same way. Kendall is saying, Dr. Amira is saying, Trina is saying, Anisha is all saying that, no, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do the 50-50 thing based off their own experiences in the past that didn't work for them. I'm going to just give you a dollar amount that I need to run this household. And we're gonna live happily ever after that. Now, there are obviously people in the chat that don't agree with that. They want to do 50-50. But then, like Trina said, and I forgot who the other person said, what we have to also consider salaries. We have situations where a man can make more than a woman or the woman can make more than a man. So to make it fair, we have to consider salaries too. All right. Yes, thank you. Live life and love. Hey Tila. Okay, right. A decent one bedroom here. I live is 1,500. Oh my God. Yeah, that's expensive. Yeah, especially like if you live in California, Houston is expensive. Yeah, I mean, there's multiple cities that are very expensive to live in. And like you said, live a one bedroom 1,500. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. Then he needs to two-step his weight up. Well, that's true too. Now, I think Dr. Amira said that in her situation, her husband pays for everything because she works out the home. So her job is being a full-time mom. Okay. That's her job, being a full-time mom. And she also has her own business. So with him paying all the bills, Dr. Amira is basically saying, I take care of all my personal needs based off the money I make from my small business. And my husband takes care of all the major bills because he has a full-time Monday through Friday job. Or I don't know how he works, Dr. Amira. I'm just paraphrasing, So, but that's their agreement. Kendall might say, nah, I don't care. Um, it don't matter how much my rent is. Okay, I need $1,200 from you off the top on the first, the second, the third, the fourth, whatever. So going back to the young lady that how this conversation started, again, what happens when 5 years from now, or let's say 5 months from now, the baby daddy decides he don't want to pay your rent anymore? Okay, now you've gotten used to this man paying your rent, although you're saying now, because it sounds like she wants him to keep paying the rent. She just want to be able to have company when she want to. Well, baby daddy is saying, no, because I am paying your rent, you can't do that. So sis needs to figure out which is more important to her. Him controlling your life or you having company.
Right, but if you have your own idea or morals, you don't have to worry about what he's doing. You do you. I would never lay up over my kids. Never have, never will. He knew this. So that really wasn't a problem for me because I can go elsewhere. When my kids are with him, I can do what I want to do. But when my kids are there, there's not going to be another man around unless I was married.
Now Ashley says, now this okay, she says, I look at it like teamwork. Some months I pay 80%, sometimes he pays 20%, sometimes he pays 120, whatever puts us in a better position for the following month. And that works for Ashley's home. Okay. I can't say, Ashley, nah, sis. If he can't meet me 50-50, he can't meet me at all. You're right. That works for her situation. Now, Trina might say, yeah, no, that doesn't work for me. Because like you said, Trina, when you got divorced, you made more than your ex-husband did. So you guys had to go back and redo the agreement because it wasn't fair. Okay.
Right.
So, okay, I get that. Like I said, everybody lives differently. Everybody lives differently. So we get it. Hey, Deborah. I don't think it's just a personal thing and what everyone wants to deal with. We all have a difference of opinion in the situation, whatever works for you. Right, Coco? Whatever works for you. But ultimately, we're just saying I'm going to just say this is a young girl. I don't know if she is or not. I'm just going to say she is, okay? For this young girl who's actually dealing with the fact that she doesn't want her baby daddy to tell her who she can and cannot have in her house because he's paying her rent. So she's trying to figure out what other people think about that. And all I'm going to say is, if you want to be able to control who comes in and out your house, then obviously baby daddy can't pay the full rent, but baby daddy still needs to pay for the child. So then now you need to make a decision. Is it worth it for you to, if I don't know, maybe y'all might have some animosity now amongst each other or with each other because you're taking him to court. Again, you just got to figure out what's worth it to you. That's just my opinion. If this was a friend of mine and I'm having this conversation with her, that's what I would say. Because ultimately, you got to make the final decision. Even my opinion of your decision may not work for you because you might be the type that can't deal with confrontation and turmoil and animosity because your baby mad because you didn't win, your baby daddy's mad because you didn't want to put him on child support. Or you might be the type of woman that don't give a damn about how the baby daddy feel because you're paying through the courts and that's it and that's all. Again, it just really depends on the person. I want to say that's wrong for Ashley. That's not stable for me. Okay. Live, laugh, and love said Ashley's agreement in her household wouldn't work for her. And that's fair to say. That's definitely fair to say. All right, I understand. I wouldn't deal with that at all personally. Exactly. Yeah. It just would. And Shakay says, I say pay your own bills if I was her and have him pay child support. Moral of the story is, sis, pay your own damn rent, okay? Because what happens when he stops paying it? Now you didn't got used to this man paying the rent, and I don't know if you're saving that money that you would potentially pay to the, I'm gonna say apartment complex. I don't know where she lives. You're saving that money in the, when in for emergencies or whatever like that. I don't know if this young girl's doing. I keep saying young girl because in my mind, y'all, it just feels like a young girl conversation. Because I just really feel like a seasoned woman probably wouldn't be having these issues. That wouldn't be an issue. Me myself, baby daddy can't pay my rent and tell me who I can and cannot come in my house, right? You're not gonna do that, sir. The only person that can tell me who I can and cannot have in my house is the landlord. If I got a landlord, that's the only, because based off the lease, they'll tell you can't have people live here more than so many days, and if they are living here more than so many days, they got to be put on the lease. So the landlord or the apartment complex is the only one that can order that. Okay, not no baby daddy. That's just my opinion. Hey, Rube Twos, but if he's paying her bills, he does have say who is over there. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. He's paying the bills because your child is here. That's my thought. If your child wasn't here, obviously you wouldn't be paying the rent. So you said you're paying the rent because your child lives here. That don't mean you got the right to tell me I might got a homegirl that you don't like. So now my homegirl can't come over because you don't like my homegirl because you paying my rent? No, I don't. You pay where you lay. Exactly. Is it child support bills? To be quite honest with you, it sounds like it's they're calling it child support rubes. That's what she said. Let me play it one more time because I know some of y'all are coming in and didn't hear it. So let me play it one more time so you guys can hear it for yourself. All right, just give me a moment to pull it up.
Hey, Kendra G, my baby daddy pays my rent to make sure that our daughter is provided for. We don't have an official child support situation set up, but he is very reliable with the rent payment, so there is no issue. Well, now I'm dating someone else, and he said that my new guy can't come over to the house or stay over because he pays my rent. I don't agree with this. He obviously dates other women, and I should be able to do the same. He said he doesn't care about all that. He is very adamant that as long as he's paying my rent for my place, no man can come over or stay the night. End of discussion. Kendra G, I don't agree. What do you think?
Okay, so she currently has a boyfriend. Okay, so there I go with my selective hearing because I forgot to hear that part. She currently has a boyfriend, and baby daddy is saying he cannot come over because I'm paying rent there. And she doesn't agree. So it sounds like she don't think it's fair because she feels like he still should be able to pay the rent and I should still be able to live my life. And so she doesn't think that's fair. So that's what I'm saying, that she sounds, and no disrespect to the young girls out here, because all young girls don't think this way, but it gives me young vibes over there because since you need to make a decision. You say you got a new boo thing over there. Okay, so new boo thing can definitely pay the rent if he coming over, okay? Or, whatever the situation is. So now you need to definitely take him to child support and put him on paperwork. So therefore you don't have to worry about him trying to throw his weight around. Sounds like sis needs to rethink life because she was cool with it till she got a new man. Exactly, our family, exactly. Sounds very simple and immature. I don't think she needs to get that dollar into child support checks move about her business. That's what I think. But it sounds like she wants the baby daddy to still pay her rent, but still allow her to let her man come over. Like, think about it, y'all. Girl, why are you even toying with the decision? You want the new boyfriend to come over, right? Okay, well, pay your own rent and tell baby daddy, I'll see you at court. Period. And it's the end of the discussion. Is the house or apartment in his name? She didn't say all that. She did not say all that. She did not. He's not paying her rent to benefit the kids. If so, there wouldn't be stipulations. Ashley, that could be possible. I believe, like, especially with him still, he's dating. But see, the difference is, can I read your comment, Deborah? Yes, I can. I'm sorry. The difference is she's saying he's able to go and live his life. Well, the problem is because he's paying to live his life. He's paying the cost to be the boss in his home. You're not paying the cost to be the boss because you're asking or you're having him pay your rent. Okay. So if you want to pay the cost to be the boss, then you pay your rent. And you just put him on child support, and whatever the courts agree that he needs to pay based off your income and his income will happen. Deborah, I don't see your comments, sis. I just see you saying hi when you came into the chat. That's all I see. Miss Tish, I know some duck assy. Some of them are not exempt. Okay. Okay. And you think the plan is to hold a child over his head? Sound like she just want her rent paid. That sounds like me. I don't think she's really trying to do that. It is coming up. Oh, okay. Well, where is it at, sis? You know, I'm on StreamYard, so StreamYard's a little delayed. But I want to see it because we're getting ready to end the live. Does the new boo have its own place? Liz says the new boo got his own place, sis. Since it's a problem, can't you just go over new boo house? Well, I don't know, sis. She didn't say. She didn't say if new boo had a place. I would think maybe new boo doesn't, because if new boo had a place, then I mean, but I don't know. How do you say that to your new guy? Hey, you can't come over my house because my baby daddy pays my rent. He's gonna be like, okay, are you still sleeping with your baby daddy? Yeah, no, he just pays my rent. So he says nobody can come over because he pays my rent. You know, the new man, if I was the new man, I would be looking at this a little crazy. Like, what? What are we talking about over here? Right, Rubes. That's exactly true. Girl, let your skill or trade and go to somebody's job so you can pay your own rent. That way you can have child support as a supplemental income. Our family says, sis, get it together over there. Our family says, sis, we done told you what to do. Now it's up to you to do it. Sounds like she need a job or a second job. Sounds like she just need to take baby daddy down to the courthouse. That's what it sounds like to me. If you want to be able to date your new man over there, sound like you just need to take him to the courthouse, honey. But I'm glad you guys, hey Nisha, I'm glad you guys came into the chat. We didn't have a standing room like we normally do, but that's okay, you guys. That'll happen sometimes, you know. But I think we need to have these conversations, and I'm glad you guys, all of you all, were able to engage in the conversation, give your thoughts and opinions. I thank everybody that came onto the panel to give their thoughts and opinions on their situation. You guys know I really appreciate when you guys get, vocal in the chat and when you guys come on the panel. Because at the end of the day, y'all, we all are living real life. Hey, Miss SWV. Hey, Trina. We all are living real. Hey, Ariana. We all are living real life. We all have experienced things. It's, this is life for us. And we watch life happen on the internet as well with the channels that we watch. And that's why we get together over here in the break room and we discuss the episodes of these videos. I know sometimes people feel some type of way because we're talking about, their personal lives, but their personal lives, they decide to share with the world. And based off that, we give our opinions, maybe favorable to them or not, or to others. And we just give our thoughts and we move on, y'all. It's just that simple. And no one got blocked or comments deleted. Yeah, Monica, just a simple conversation. Yeah. So like when Love Lab says, Humor, are you thinking of it hypothetical? I didn't get offended. I was just like, well, sis, how else can I think about it? Like, that's the only way. Like I said, you guys, this is like, to me, in my mind, this is like a real life break room conversation we're having here. We're gonna, Rube Tools came in and threw her advice. Everybody, Kendall came in, Monica came in with love. Everybody dropped on in, LaToy, Jasmine, everybody dropped down and gave their opinions based off the conversation. And that's what I like, you guys. Grown women be able to have conversation without us leaving this chat hating each other's guts, okay? Well, grown woman conversation, right, Kendall? Well, you guys, we're going to have more conversations like this. We definitely going to get over there to those moms. I don't know what's really going on. I did hear some chatter the other, maybe it was yesterday or Friday, that Jasmine took a sneak peek of Chris and put it on her Instagram. And someone said, oh, goodness, there's still no stroller. Y'all, I didn't know the little baby legendary did not have a stroller. I didn't know that. Are y'all sure the baby doesn't have a stroller? Because considering everything she put on that registry, you mean to tell me she didn't put stroller? Or not only that, system bought cars, trucks, furniture, beds, mattresses, and sis didn't buy the baby a stroller. I don't want to believe that, y'all. Is that what happened? I guess we'll talk about it tomorrow. Y'all, let's talk about that tomorrow. Let TMI go and look and see what's going on, and we'll definitely get on of it. Legend can walk already. He doesn't need one. No, little legendary can walk. Oh, goodness gracious. Yes, Trina, we do, sis. We always do. Hey, Telly. Yeah, that's Telly. That's what they're saying. They're saying there's no stroller over there. Well, y'all know Jasmine wasn't really planning on going anywhere. I don't think when she had little legendary that she thought that she was going to get her and Chris new cars. So now that she has these cars, sis need to pull up in the Walmart parking lot and get her a damn stroller for that baby. I've been cleaning these windows, but I enjoyed listening. Thank you, Sunshine. So I don't know, you guys. We definitely got to get over there and see what's going on. Because I'm be honest with y'all. Yeah, I don't want to believe that, T-Love. I don't want to believe that girl doesn't have a stroller over there. I think y'all are I think you guys have not paid close attention. I think maybe you guys missed it. Maybe the stroller is in the trunk of one of these vehicles they got over there. Maybe the stroller was in the near and they forgot that it was in there. I don't know. Okay, I'm assuming. I don't know. But I don't want to believe that this lady has bought cars, beds, furniture, clothes, phones, everything else that she can possibly buy and forgot to get little legendary a stroller. I don't want to believe that. I'm not going to believe it. I'm not going to believe that she did not get a stroller and that he has 2 jobs. Yes. Yeah, I don't want to believe that, y'all. I just don't want to believe that lady has forgotten to get the little legendary a stroller. I don't want to believe that. No, I don't think so. I think she was waiting to get them dressers. I believe she was just waiting. Hey, Mastermind, I think she was waiting to get. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to believe it, but that's the word out on the curb that little legendary still no stroller. So she said that the baby doesn't have a stroller. Oh, she said it? Why doesn't the baby have a stroller? Child, you gonna get tired of carrying that baby in that little pumpkin seat everywhere. 2 cars, 2 jobs, no stroller, housewife. Girl, I don't know, honey. I have no idea. Well, maybe with the constant conversation on different videos, reaction videos, maybe sis will go over there and pull up to a Walmart and get little legendary a stroller. Hell, where is Aiden and Ava stroller? Did they have a stroller? You can't pass. Like, whatever happened to passing the stuff down from one child to the next? People don't do that anymore. Can't you just? I mean, the twins are getting ready to be 4. Didn't they have a stroller? Well, maybe they would have had a double stroller. It would have been too big for little legendary. I don't know, y'all. I just don't want to believe that lady doesn't have a stroller. I promise you, I don't want to believe that. Like, why wouldn't you get a? Hell, you can get right, Kendall. Kendall, I was just going to say that, and I seen you can get an umbrella stroller at Walmart. I didn't know how much they cost, but yeah, $12. Like, girl, you get your little umbrella stroller. I don't understand why this lady doesn't have a stroller. Do y'all think she forgot to put it on the registry? I don't know. Yeah, next video she'll be going to get her a stroller. She better. If these reaction videos got to keep her doing right, then that's what's going to happen. These reaction videos are going to keep her doing right. She waiting for her subscribers to get it. Oh, Rosie Rose. Is that so? Well, honey, all this money this lady may have came into and being able to, buy things for her and her family. Clearly she can go. Well, how much are strollers, y'all? What a nice stroller at Walmart, maybe $60? I'm just gonna say 80. I'm gonna say 80, and that's probably going to look not the GoFundMe, Jenny. Oh no. No one probably just didn't buy for. You think so, Coco? Well, we raised Jazz in these chats. Yeah, what you say? We raising her up. Oh my goodness gracious. I don't know, you guys. I don't want to believe it, but I guess we'll just have to wait for the next video. Trust and believe she will definitely have something to say about it. All right, you guys, I'm gone. I'm out of here. I thank y'all so much for tuning in. Make sure you guys check my store out, MELVIROSE Beauty, for your skincare needs. And you guys, my candle line will be launching the 1st of April. So I hope you guys are ready to help with the launch and support my candle line. I think you guys are going to be very impressed. Okay. I think you are, because I'm impressed. Okay. All right, you guys, I'm gone. I'm out of here. I'll see you in the next one. Remember, sub what you love. Bye.